Welcome to Trending Today podcast. Everything you missed today in 15 minutes. Week 14 in college football. Phew, talk about a roller coaster. Upsets, victories, and some serious heartbreak, am I right?
Absolutely. It was a wild one. Where do we even begin? So much to unpack.
Let's start with the shining star LaNorris Sellers, South Carolina's quarterback. Spectacular against Clemson, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. That 17-14 victory, securing the Palmetto Cup? Huge! Led the Gamecocks to a 9-3 season. What a performance.
Even with a fumble and an interception, he brought them back. Real talent, real potential. He's on the national stage now.
Definitely. And those combined rushing and passing yards? Impressive. Solidified his status as a rising star, no doubt.
Keep South Carolina in playoff contention, too. A long shot, but still, what an achievement for Coach Beamer and the program.
Yeah, a long shot, but they're in the conversation. Redshirt freshman, too. Excellent speed, size, and a strong arm. He's got it all.
Hard work and attention to detail are paying off. You can see it in his leadership on the field. And those stats? 7 touchdowns, 1 interception in the last 3 games. Consistent improvement.
Speaking of improvement, his dual threat ability, season-high rushing yards against Clemson adds another dimension to his game, for sure.
Shows the Gamecocks can perform under pressure, too. High-stakes situations? They're ready.
Now for the flip side. Miami. Oof. Inability to close out games, it's a real problem.
That loss to Syracuse cost them the ACC title game and hurt their playoff hopes big time. A stunning upset, considering their past success.
Right? Regular season isn't over, but playoff chances? Diminished, to say the least. A pattern of missed opportunities. It's frustrating to watch.
Clemson gets the ACC title game spot now, thanks to Miami's slip-up. Really highlights the impact of that loss.
Raises questions about coaching strategies, too, and team performance under pressure. What's going on there?
Beyond South Carolina and Miami, though, Week 14 was packed. Michigan over Ohio State, again, shook up the CFP race for sure.
Massive shift in the Big Ten championship. Penn State taking Ohio State's place. Unpredictability at its finest.
And from Ohio State, questions about Coach Ryan Day's future? With all that NIL investment and not meeting expectations, it's a tough spot. Especially those rivalry games, the conference championships. They need to perform.
Creates opportunities for other teams, though. Texas A&M losing to Texas? No revenge for them. Auburn losing to Alabama? Another tough one.
But Penn State, Iowa State, they're looking good. Positioned well for conference championships and maybe even playoff berths.
So a week of surprises and major upsets. Sellers shown, Miami stumbled, and the playoff picture is anything but clear. The final weeks will be exciting, that's for sure. Can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
So, wow, LaNorris Sellers. That kid is electric. Talk about a clutch performance against Clemson. A real nail-biter, right?
17-14. Down to the wire. But man, that comeback, he's got ice in his veins. Didn't let the mistakes rattle him.
The fumble, the interception, you'd think that would shake a redshirt freshman, but nope, he just kept going. True grit.
Total composure under pressure. That's what you want in a quarterback, yeah? And in a rivalry game, no less. The Palmetto Cup? Huge stakes.
9-3 now for the Gamecocks. Coach Beamer has to be thrilled. Talk about a program turnaround. They're playing with a whole new level of confidence.
And Sellers is a big reason why. Those combined rushing and passing yards, he's a true dual threat. Keeps defenses guessing, right?
Absolutely. He can make plays with his arm. He can make plays with his legs. It's a nightmare to defend. This guy's is the real deal. He's a rising star, for sure.
Playoff contention too, though it's a long shot. But hey, they're in the conversation. And that's huge for South Carolina.
He's only a redshirt freshman? That's insane. With that speed, size, and arm strength, the kid's a natural.
Right? You can tell he's put in the work. Detail-oriented, dedicated. It's all paying off. Look at his leadership on the field, too.
It's clear. And the stats back it up. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception in the last 3 games. Consistently improving, making a real impact. Wow.
Yeah, and not just passing, right? His rushing yards against Clemson? Season high. He's a true dual threat. So hard to defend.
Totally agree. He can run, he can pass. It's a nightmare for opposing teams. Keeps them guessing, keeps them on their toes. Such a valuable asset.
Exactly. He's making a real difference for South Carolina. What a find for Coach Beamer and the program.
It really does. I mean, to pull off a win like that against Clemson in a rivalry game shows they can handle the heat, you know? High-pressure situation, and they delivered.
Yeah, totally. They didn't crumble under the pressure. That's a good sign for the future of the program. Speaking of pressure, or lack thereof, maybe, Miami. What a mess.
Oof, yeah. Miami. Talk about a letdown. That loss to Syracuse? Brutal. Really hurt their chances, ACC title game and playoffs, everything.
Just couldn't close it out. Again, it's becoming a pattern, right? And against Syracuse, a team they should beat, honestly. A real head-scratcher.
Definitely a stunning upset given their track record. I mean, they had so much potential this season, and to lose it like that, just disappointing.
Yeah, disappointing is an understatement. Their regular season isn't technically over, but playoffs? Forget about it. That loss pretty much sealed their fate. A real shame.
So Miami's inability to close out games, it's a recurring theme this season, isn't it? A real Achilles heel.
Yeah, it's frustrating to watch, honestly. They have the talent, but they just can't seem to put it all together when it matters most. Like, what's the missing piece?
Good question. Is it coaching? Is it a lack of focus? Is it pressure? It's hard to say for sure. But whatever it is, it's costing them big time.
Look at that Syracuse game. A team they should have beaten. And that loss? Boom. A CC title game, hopes, gone. Playoff hopes? Dwindling. Just like that.
Exactly. And who benefits? Clemson. They get the ACC title game spot now thanks to Miami's slip-up. Talk about a missed opportunity. Ouch.
Seriously. It's a tough pill to swallow for Miami fans, for sure. So much potential, and now, well, let's just say their outlook isn't exactly rosy.
No, it's not. They really need to figure things out if they want to be competitive in the future. Consistency is key, and they just haven't shown it this season.
Agreed. Now, shifting gears a bit, Week 14 wasn't just about South Carolina and Miami, right? There were other major shakeups. Michigan beating Ohio State? Again? Wow.
Yeah, that was a huge upset. 2 years in a row. Who would have thought? Definitely throws a wrench in the CFP race. Big time.
Totally. And what about the Big Ten championship? Penn State takes Ohio State's spot. Talk about a plot twist. This season is full of surprises.
It really is. And you have to wonder, what does this mean for Coach Ryan Day at Ohio State? All that NIL money, all those expectations, and they're not delivering. The pressure's on.
Especially in those rivalry games, right? And the conference championships. Those are the games that define a season. And Ohio State, well, they fell short.
So, yeah, that Michigan win over Ohio State 2 years in a row changes everything, right? The Big Ten championship picture, totally different now.
Exactly. Penn State stepping in for Ohio State? Who saw that coming? Talk about a shakeup. This season is wild. Absolutely wild.
Totally unpredictable. I mean, 1 minute Ohio State is a lock for the championship, the next, well, they're out. Just like that. Poof.
Gone. And it really throws the whole playoff race into chaos, doesn't it? I mean, who knows what's going to happen now? Everything's up in the air.
It really is. The rankings, forget about it. They're going to be all over the place after this weekend. So much for predictions, huh?
Yeah, no kidding. And for Ohio State, oof, tough loss. Especially with all that NIL money they've invested, there will be some serious conversations happening in Columbus.
Oh, for sure. Coach Day, he's got to be feeling the heat. High expectations, big investments, and they can't even win the Big Ten? That's a problem.
Huge problem. They're supposed to dominate those rivalry games, win the conference. And now? Nothing. I mean, what happened?
Yeah, good question. They've got the talent, right? The resources? Something's not clicking. And with all that NIL money floating around, the pressure's even higher.
Absolutely. You're paying top dollar for top performance, and if you're not getting it, heads will roll. It's the nature of the beast.
It really is. It's a business at the end of the day. But hey, every loss creates an opportunity, right? Other teams are definitely benefiting from Ohio State's stumble.
Oh, yeah. Penn State's got a shot now. Other teams on the bubble, they're suddenly looking a lot better. This changes the entire landscape.
So other big upsets, right? Texas A&M losing to Texas. No revenge for them this year. Tough one.
Yeah, that's got to sting. And Auburn losing to Alabama? Another classic rivalry, another tough loss.
But hey, some teams are rising to the occasion, yeah? Penn State, Iowa State, they're looking good. Real contenders.
Definitely. Positioned well for conference championships and maybe even playoffs. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Right? This season is crazy. Anything can happen. I mean, who would have predicted Michigan beating Ohio State 2 years in a row? Or Penn State sneaking into the Big Ten championship?
It's wild. Completely unpredictable. And that's what makes it so exciting, right? You never know what's going to happen next.
Exactly. Every game is a must-watch. Every week is a roller coaster. It's fantastic. So to wrap up Week 14, what a week, huh?
Absolutely. Full of surprises, upsets, and some serious shakeups in the rankings. The playoff picture is, well, it's a mess, frankly, in the best way possible.
Totally. From LaNorris Sellers' heroics to Miami's struggles and everything in between, Week 14 was one for the books. Now bring on the final weeks. Let's see how it all unfolds.
I can't wait. The final stretch is going to be epic. So much drama, so much at stake. It's going to be a wild ride.
It's like 1 minute they're on top, the next they're fumbling the ball. Literally, it's tough to watch, honestly, especially when they have so much potential.
Right? You almost feel bad for them. Almost. But hey, that's the game, isn't it? Highs and lows, triumphs, and Well, disasters. Miami's got to learn to handle the pressure.
No kidding. They need to find that missing piece. Like, what's going on in the locker room? What are the coaches saying? What's the team dynamic like? So many questions.
For real, it's not just talent, it's mental toughness. It's the ability to execute under pressure. And Miami, they seem to be lacking in that department, big time.
Big time. And it's costing them. SEC title hopes? Gone. Playoff hopes? Slim to none. A real shame considering how strong they started. Yep. Proof that anything can happen in college football, right? One bad game, one missed opportunity, and boom, your season can change just like that. A real roller coaster. Totally. This season has been insane. So many twists and turns, so many unexpected outcomes. Keeps us on the edge of our seats, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Every week is a nail-biter. Who's going to rise? Who's going to fall? Which teams will crack under pressure? It's pure entertainment.
Exactly. It's why we love college football, isn't it? The unpredictability, the passion, the sheer chaos of it all. And with the final weeks approaching, man, it's only going to get crazier.
Oh, I know. The playoff picture is a mess. In the best way possible, of course. So much is still up in the air. So many teams vying for those coveted spots. It's going to be an epic finish, that's for sure.
So to wrap up, Week 14 in college football taught us one thing: expect the unexpected. From South Carolina's stunning victory to Miami's heartbreaking loss, and everything in between, this season continues to be a wild ride. And we wouldn't have it any other way, would we?
Absolutely not. The final weeks are upon us, folks. Buckle up, get ready for some serious drama. And as always, thanks for tuning in to Trending Today podcast. Everything you missed today in 15 minutes. We'll catch you next time.